Welcome to this Movieplex Theater. Patrons are reminded that this is a no-smoking area. Patrons are also advised that talking during the performance is prohibited. And all electronic equipment must be switched off. The consumption of alcoholic beverages is strictly forbidden. But we'd like to remind patrons that a full range of refreshments is available in the theater lobby. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the film.
Hello, 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 hello. Let me work out how loud I want that music. Let's see. Does this work? Maybe that's a bit too loud. Put it at 24, the music, why not? Hello, Cretaceous the Hunted, good afternoon. Or good evening, should I say. Dog Historian, good day, gentlemen. Did someone say aliens? Put on your tin hats. Tinfoil hats. And hello, MT Bill. How we doing? I didn't know what to call the stream, so obviously all over social media people are talking about like those crappy aliens that have been shown off in Mexico, so I thought, why not just talk about that? Anyway, today we're going to continue this frame I'm working on. I believe, actually. I just need to check something. I didn't already do this frame, did I? Oh no, wait, I did that one. Okay, so I need to redo Jude's head a little bit. Might actually make him a bit smaller. Why are you painting me on a Monday morning, says MT Bill. So no one believes those aliens are real, right? Because that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. These little like paper mache looking fake little alien things. And I'm really like, I don't know, suspicious of why all of a sudden like governments around the world and journalists are all like really pushing the alien narrative. Like, why now? Like, what is going on? Why do they want aliens to be a thing? When they've been saying for so long that, you know, they're not real. Oh, what am I doing? I need to cut this out properly. Just smells very fishy to me that they just suddenly turn around and they're all just like, yeah, aliens, yeah, they're potentially real, you know. That's better. Remember when I was younger, I always used to say that I would make the prediction that if they found alien life, it would be like some bacteria on Europa or something. You know, one of the moons of, is it Jupiter? Like when I was younger, I was convinced, like, oh yeah, if they find aliens, that's how it'll be. It'll be some bit of mold on a rock that's like millions of years old, but hasn't had the right conditions to evolve any further than it has done. It's just the bit of like gumph on a rock. But now I'm doubting that. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. As I get older, I get less. I believe less in the idea of aliens. Read the article now. The guy leading the hearing has been debunked before. It looks like 6th graders clay figure after watching ET. Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, he's gotten the publicity. Like the entire social media sphere, at least on X, I've seen, is talking about these crappy aliens. Hello, Saurian bot. So the man has a way of like how he gets in. If he was debunked before, why did the officials let him make this presentation again? Like, what's funny is like if they turned out to be real, right? And that's a big if. It's like how jaded everyone has become because of how crappy the news is at delivering facts, and how much hearsay there is over the internet. That if aliens were real, and it turned out, you know, they had the aliens or whatever, it's like no one would really give a shit. Like we're also, or at least my generation, when we grew up watching films, or I guess not even just my generation, but like films in like the 50s and stuff, when they would see aliens, it would be this like big event, like this global event. Like think Independence Day, you know, the ships are coming down, the whole world is like, oh my god, what is happening? Like it's this crazy thing. We're not alone in the universe. Oh my god, that kind of thing. And yet in reality, if it was like announced that aliens were real, which they basically have kind of done, it's just lost like a fart in the wind. Like no one gives a crap, really. We would need that big, giant global event that captures everyone's attention. Where there's like absolutely no doubts. Because even if they found, like I suggested, even if they found like a like a bit of mold on a rock, and they like NASA or whoever sent pictures of it back to Earth to be like, look at this picture, this is, you know, officially we've made the announcement, we've found some like moss on a rock on a Saturn's moon or whatever, like one of Saturn's moons. There'd be so many people out there who'd just be like, nah, it's fake. You just took a picture of a bit of moss and you just photoshopped it on this rock, or you just went out and took a picture of a rock. Like no one would really buy into it, even if it was real. And that is just a byproduct of how crap the media have been, news media and the politicians are being truthful with the public. But that's not me making the case that they have to be truthful all the time. I completely understand that there's certain things that governments would probably, I don't know, there's got to be moments where they're like they hide something for the public good, like they know that it's going to be a net negative for the public. Most of the time when they hide things, it's a net negative for them, but when it's a net negative for the public, I know there's certain things like that must exist, you know. Like last night I watched the film The Manchurian Candidate, and that's about this like sleeper agent who gets who's tasked with killing the next vice president, who is also a sleeper agent. But like when he does, he assassinates the vice president right at the end of the film. They end up going in and photoshopping out who he really was, and then he gets to go off and I guess live under care, but like free. He's not overly punished because they know that the repercussions of the public finding out that the government had been had planned the assassination, or you know, that whole mess. You need to watch the film to understand what I'm saying. But the point is, like, it would be their problem to clean up, so they hid it from the public. If they bleed, I'm not going to listen to them about climate change. It was the original version of that iconic line from Predator. If it bleeds, I'm not going to listen to them about climate change. Yeah, so I understand that there might be certain things that the government are hiding. Or governments, I say the government. Governments around the world are hiding from the public, which actually is a good thing that is hidden from the public. But when it comes to aliens, I'm like, no. Like the whole like Jeffrey Epstein stuff, it's like that should be made public. But they won't do it because, well, the repercussions would be pretty bad for them, I think. But it's not, doesn't help that like most people know that they're hiding something. Aliens can melt steel beams. Yes. I've never fully like let's move on from aliens to 9/11. Why not? I've never understood the jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams argument, because like on its own, yes, that might be true, right? That jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams, but it's like they forget that in the events of 9/11, it wasn't just jet fuel burning. It was everything. It was the building. It was, unfortunately, people. It was a whole mess of things that were on fire and creating crazy heat. And you know, when they show videos, then the conspiracy theorists, because like this isn't me saying that 9/11 didn't have some sort of suspicious stuff going on around it, okay? There was definitely something going on around that event, but the whole they demolished the buildings. I mean, World Trade Center 7, you know, is maybe a different story, but the actual two towers, you can see when you watch the unedited footage and the raw footage that the first plane hits like quite near the top and burns for a long time, and then the second plane hits sort of more halfway down the building and burns. And if you watch the smoke goes darker and darker and darker and darker. Like it is gradually goes from like a grey smoke to almost pitch black smoke, and it's the weight of it burns the middle section of the second building that was hit, And so because it was hit halfway down, there's more weight above the impact zone. So the fires are just raging, getting worse and worse, and just the heat is insane, which might melt steel beams. It's not just the jet fuel alone. And the weight of that is what made it collapse. And there's loads of footage out there of how it collapsed. It doesn't just drop like a demolition. It like kind of, the top bit collapses in on itself like that and falls. And then the building that was hit, the first building that was hit, that was more close to the top, same thing happens. The smoke goes from like a lightish colour to darker and darker and darker and darker. But because it has less weight at the top, it takes longer to collapse. So obviously the first one collapsed, and then a little bit after that is when the top of the first tower that got hit collapsed, because it has less weight above the impact zone. So yeah. Anyway, like, I don't get the whole jet fuel steals beams, doesn't melt steel beams or whatever, because yeah, there you go. That's my 2 cents on that conspiracy theory. Hope you enjoyed that one. Gonna ease up some of these thicker lines. I'll be teaching about smoke and jet fuel at Terradomes High School. Yeah. Now I'm just gonna, I wonder if it'll be, okay, so I want him like that, and then I want to turn him. So, oopsie daisy. Thermal charge and drones are too far-fetched, in my opinion, says MT now. Yeah, I mean, like, I've heard conspiracies of, like, there was potentially bombs on the planes, the specific planes that they chose and all this sort of stuff, and it's like, okay, that's more believable, I think, than, you know, the jet fuel doesn't burn the beams thing. It's like, there was a lot of weirdness going on with that event. There's no one's doubting that. The other building, World Trade Center 7 or whatever it was called, that collapsed. There's videos you can see of, like, when the towers both fell, they blew a lot of debris and dust and God knows what else into the actual basement area of that building. And there was a huge fire that lit up from the basement up, or like the ground floor up. And you know, it might have been a controlled demolition because they knew that building was just gone. But also conveniently, there might have been some other stuff going on that they wanted to get rid of certain debt, I've heard, or something stupid. So they, I don't know, it seems like they deliberately demolished that building on purpose. But I don't think they deliberately demolished in terms of, like, setting bombs and charges to drop those two buildings. Usually when you demolish a building, yeah, it doesn't break up and that like you see the buildings do when they fall. What are my thoughts on Godzilla the series? Okay, let's go back to something less crazy. What would you do for a proper series finale of that show? You know what? It's been a while since I watched the last episode. I've actually got it here. The oh, where is it? There. I like the Godzilla series. I think it's really good. Good kids show. And I'll be watching it with my daughter when she's a little bit older. I think she's watched a couple of episodes, but she's a little bit She was a little bit too young. Right, anyway, I'm just going to quickly draw Jude. What is my favourite Godzilla movie? Sounds like a bit of a cop-out, but I'd probably go with the original one, the very first one. Because that's the one when I watch it, I'm the most thoughtful when I watch it. But then again, if I didn't go with the original one, let's just say another one. I'd probably go maybe. Ooh, that is tough. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. Yeah, I'll go with that one. Why not? What are my favourite fan-made movies and shows? Oh god, that's a broad question. I have no idea. Fan-made movies and shows. Just trying to work out which. Yeah, Godzilla vs. King Kong is great. I love all their miniature stuff. I almost said Shin Godzilla. I'll say this though, Godzilla -1 is shaping up to be... it's looking like it could be my instant favourite. Like the time period, because I like the original one, like I said. The time period, the way Godzilla looks, he's not overly big. It looks really, looks so good. I love the look of -1. Yeah, Gary says I'm gonna love it too. It just looks so good. Oh god, that's stupid. Sorry, Sammy. I was trying to think of like fan-made movies and shows. Do you mean like fan films? I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to think of some. My brain's a bit fried at the moment. Especially after what I just saw. I like Prime Survival. That's a good Jurassic fan film by Jacques Delamere. That's always one I go to. Oh, there's my favourite Jurassic fan film is what's it called? It's a stop motion one. I'm gonna have to try and find the name now. Forget the name of it now. It's like a stop motion one. It's about the raptors being in. God, it's been years since I've seen it, but I remember really enjoying it. What was that called? It wasn't called Jurassic. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe they removed it. I can't find it. It's a really old one. It was put up on YouTube many years ago. I can't remember what it was. See if I can find it. No, I can't remember. There was one, I can't remember the name. It's really bugging me that I can't remember the name now. But it was like a stop motion one. Jurassic Park's better than Godzilla 1998. Jurassic World. Dead Dobby. Yeah, it does look like a dead Dobby, that alien. Speaking of which, I just saw this image. This is what I was laughing at. Oh, did it not work? Alright. This picture. Joe Biden as the alien. I just saw that. It's cracking me up. Hey, Mike Thumb. Stop motion what? Would it be something I've seen? It's like a fan film of Jurassic Park 4. It was like a fan had made this stop motion fan film of Jurassic Park 4. And it was set in pretty much entirely in Costa Rica with the raptors. I can't remember the name of it. It's like it's on the tip of my tongue. Whenever I watch it, I'm like, that's my favourite Jurassic fan film. Bugging me that I can't remember it though, the name. It's not like Return to Jurassic Park or something like that. But I will give a shout out to Jurassic Park 1999. There's a fan film called Jurassic Park 1999, which is based on the stuff we wrote on the DPG, or inspired by that. So shout out to those guys. Biden versus Predator. When they released the Epstein files. Since I've been reading Prey, I've been talking to my biology teacher about every time I see him. He did take off 2 weeks because he was celebrating his first daughter being born. Oh, well, congratulations to your teacher. Why did Clayton change his intro? He changed it back to his old intro, didn't he? I'll have to drop you a link when I find it again. Yeah, I think I even downloaded it off YouTube like back in like 2013, 14 because I liked it so much. Like, it was some kid had made it. I think the reason I liked it so much was because it perfectly encapsulated what fans expected to see at the time for Jurassic Park 4, like around the 2005 era. And it was nice that a fan took the time to make one. And like, not that it was the best thing ever or anything, but I just think it was a real product of its time. And if you grew up in that time, you know, where everyone was waiting for Jurassic Park 4, then it would put a smile on your face, I think. Right, anyway, Jude. Oops. Anyway, it shouldn't take me this long to do this guy. I'm faffing talking about Jurassic Park 4 fan films. Had you never read Prey before, Sorianbot? Mike says, that's the kind of thing I like to see. That's how you get filmmakers for the future rather than AI regurgitated remake reboots. Retelling. Yeah, I guess. I mean, they were retelling and remaking certain scenes from Jurassic Park for their little fan film, but I get your point. Although I believe AI is inevitable. It's inevitable. Not saying it's good, right or wrong or whatever. Just saying I think it's unstoppable. Gaha says, "Hey." Never read it until a month ago when my biology teacher gave it to me because I mentioned Michael Crichton when talking about genetic power in Jurassic Park. Nice. You should ask your biology teacher if they've read State of Fear. That's a real test of their metal. MT says, oof, the years between 2001 and 2015 were hard for us fans, Jurassic fans. Jurassic Park Operation Genesis did help a bit though, and JP the game, but not much else was released. I thought the franchise was gone forever in 2008. Yes. Do you mean true AI or some other definition? I mean like the AI you see that generates images and video and all that jazz. Like AI generated movies, they're coming. And I think people will like them for the most part. Not at first, there's going to be pushback obviously. But I think eventually people will be warmed up to them. When it generates your favorite, like your favorite movie you never knew you ever wanted, in about 30 minutes, everyone will get won over. I've always wanted to see this film. I never thought I'd ever get to watch it. Jurassic Horror asks, which movie company is better? Universal, Disney, the company of Dinosaur, Warner Brothers, Sony, Paramount Pictures, the company of Indiana Jones, 20th Century Fox, the Weinstein Company, or both? Jurassic Horror, I must ask you nicely here, and I don't want to really sound condescending or anything, or patronising. The word both means two things. You've listed many things. Just so you know, I don't know if English is not your first language or whatever, but just so you know, both. The Weinstein Company, I believe, was owned by Disney. Through Miramax. I mean, they were all in bed together as film companies. I'm going to go Universal, obviously, because they pay me. So, not right now, but they have paid me. So, they're the best. Nah, I'm kidding. It's RKO. RKO is the best film company. State of Fear is the book that separates the fans. But the thing is, it's like I don't think many people have actually read it. That's the thing. I think some people might be afraid to read it. I think it's like the book's alright. It's just an interesting gives an interesting perspective on where Crichton's mind was at on a lot of this, on the subject, and he got to dive a bit deeper into the subject. Yes, RKO forever. Okay. I've got the, yeah, it's like blurred, so I need to blur that. But I'll do that last. When you read it 4 years ago, everyone on the web told you not to read it. They said it was pure propaganda and politics. I'm glad I didn't listen to them. Love the fate of the celebrity. Is that the guy who gets eaten by the cannibals? Can't remember if that's him or not. That scene I remember really getting found that quite disturbing. Yeah, it's like, see, this is the thing. It's not propaganda because he presents all sides of the arguments in the book, and he basically lays out the debate and plays both sides. But one side of the debate is holds some positions you might not have heard because the mainstream media doesn't, present those correctly. Or in good faith, should I say. Great train robbery, actually, nobody you might be right that it lives in the shadows of his other books, because I've never read it, so that's actually one I need to own. I don't actually own that one. I've got it on my to buy list. I always like to try and find his books in like charity shops or something, like, where they've all been worn and read before. I kind of like that aesthetic when I get an old Crichton book. But yeah, that's one I need to read. I haven't read The Great Train Robbery. And I've got A Case of Need, his book A Case of Need, but I haven't read that one. Yes, MT, I'm also the same. I haven't read Eaters of the Dead. Those are the 3 major ones I haven't read. Oh no, 4. I've never read Timeline. I own Timeline, I've never read it. Once Dino-Defenders is said and done, I'm going on a big reading quest. I've got loads of books, including the ones we're mentioning right now, that I want to read. But I find it very difficult to set time aside to read a big, thick fiction novel or whatever when I've got something I'm creating myself on the cards, because my mind is filled with all the stuff I want to do with this. Oh, what am I doing? Tut tut, Mr. Jerk. What are you doing? There we go, that's better. Okay, so Timeline's kind of like a time travel mechanic. Oh, I know about that because I've seen the film. MT says, like Timeline, it's very bipolar, but it is a Crichton. It is researched and thought-provoking. I read it last year and I still suddenly remember quotes and facts from it. Alright. Sounds good. My favourite Crichton book is Sphere. That's my favourite one out of all of his books. Sphere was the one I had the most fun with when reading. Because when I was reading it, it'd been years since I'd seen the film. And I'd never read the book. Actually, yeah, I had seen the film at that point, but I just couldn't really remember anything of it. And I just remember not knowing where the heck it was going. And loved it for that very reason. There we go. So he goes. I need to fix his shoulder. Look. He ain't got a shoulder. Ooh, the Man Machine from Kraftwerk. I haven't listened to Kraftwerk in years. Alright, so we've got Rose here. And in all honesty, I'm going to bring her forward. I'm going to get rid of Jude. And I made this little thing earlier. I'm just going to position it. And basically, I need to get Rose into that position. I'm going to pull up Rose's sheet. Lizard woman holding a gun is not something I thought I'd be intrigued by, but here we are. Yeah. Get the right colour. I think I picked the wrong colour there. There we go. So, did this basic shape earlier. I look at her hand. She's got that horrible gammy lizard hand. Yeah, Hawkins says, hey James, by the way, he says, Jack literally just chatting about these aliens. Yeah, the fake aliens. These crappy little paper mache aliens they're trying to pass off as real. Hello, Scorpius. What was the inspiration behind Goblin Lizard Rose? It seems so left field, even in a story about mummified dinosaurs. Well, I always knew, right from the beginning of Dino-Defenders, that I wanted Rose to go on a killing spree with a M16. I always knew that. I didn't have the idea of her being like a mutated version of herself until later on, and I can't remember what the catalyst was for that. It might have even been like when I was researching about old Jurassic Park 4 scripts and that I was like, oh, you know, I could do the sort of human dinosaur hybrid angle in a way that hasn't really been done before. But I always knew I wanted the image of an old lady holding an M16 just blasting it at people in the story. That was always a given. Wait, how is her other hand? Because she has like these... Yeah, she has like those reptile claws. She has that stupid little thumb. Rose equals the Hammond we wanted. Scorpius says, "What? Wait, what the hell? What have I missed? What have you missed? You have to go and watch episode 4 of Dino-Defenders." Which is out. You can go watch episode 4 of Dino-Defenders. I'll answer all your questions about what you're looking at here. I need to make her hand a bit more. I mean, like, what are you talking about a second ago? Oh, you're talking about the aliens? Sorry, the aliens. The paper mache aliens. You just go on, like, social media, like on Twitter or something. Like, there's always people talking about Mexico's... they had this big hearing where they unveiled real alien corpses that are 1,000 years old. And it's like, they're definitely not real. They're in the thumbnail. I put one in the thumbnail of this this video. It's like the fakest looking little crappy aliens. Oh, I don't know. What did I say after the alien stuff? I can't remember now. You're gonna have to refresh my memory. Just the kind of craziness you love. Well, I know one of the inspirations for Rose, because I originally was going to have her just drink something and go mad, or like not go mad, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like drink something, a cocktail of her own medicine that pushes her further over the edge, should I say? And that was why I had the picture of the death of Socrates on her wall. The painting of the death of Socrates. Oh wait, I'm drawing a head, and there's gonna be a gun in the way. Sorian says, I just always adore when stories go to insane territories for experimentation of what they can do. Thank you. There's going to be a lot of experimenting in this episode, obviously, as you can already see. I think the biggest one was when I was like coming up with the destruction in episode 3. When I came up with the idea of the deity, God actually coming and like having a presence in the story, like a legitimate presence, I was like, oh, okay, not seen that done before. You know what, I do need to sort her arm out. Scorpius asks, so you know the lady who got eaten by the Mega alongside Walt is her sister, the one piloting the mecha, dead? I'm not revealing anything. He also says, deity the what? The like bringing God into the story. That's that was a big like undertaking, because I was like, do I do it? And then I thought, why not? No one else is going to tell that story like the way you're telling it. No one else would dare do that, so why not do it? And just see where it takes you. Oh, I might need to cut this out. And then I was thinking, what would that actually do to the characters of the story if that reality suddenly dawned on them that what they were doing legitimately upset God, or they realized that they had, not that they'd upset God, but like that they, well, one of them did. I mean, we're looking at it right now. But like, that they realized that they were in the middle of an event that involved God. Sorian says, I could barely care whether or not the crazy thing in the story makes sense. I just want chaos. Well, that's the thing. It's like it's chaotic the way I'm doing this story, because I'm sort of working it out as I go. The meaning of it. Like, I don't know really the meaning of this story. Oh, I've got a call. 1 second. Sorry about that. My wife just called. And she's popping to McDonald's. She wanted to know if I wanted anything. So I said yes, why not? How is it that like I've gone all these streams and now there's been 2 streams recently where McDonald's has been involved? Make an arm like there you go. Scorpion says, "Oh, that's why episode 4 is called God is Alive." And that's why episode 3 is called Divine Retribution. MT says, "I was 4 or 5 years ago and a couple of days ago that I first found your Dino-Defenders Extreme live streams. I found it on Facebook Memories. We talked cars and you painted the blue van that tipped. Life passes really fast." Yes, I remember that. Was it the garage scene? I was painting it to go in the garage and we were coming up with the colours and all that. I remember that stream. Scorpio says, "So basically Rose middle fingered Jeebus and is now letting his ancient creatures murder them all." In a way, yes. Pretty here says, "I'm also writing an alien invasion novel that is set in a high fantasy world with no humans, just fantasy races." Nice. Nice. You got a real case of the Mickey D's. Well, when your wife asks you, "I'm going to get a McFlurry," because she's pregnant and she wants to, you know, eat ice cream, and she asks, "Do you want anything?" It's very hard to say no to a cheeseburger. I got a little cheeseburger. I didn't want to go all out because I've already had dinner, but I ordered a little cheeseburger and some chips and a Coke Zero. So like a mini meal. You know what? I need to make her look more awkward holding this. At least on this arm. Because I want her to look... she's little. Mike Farmer says, "I'll have 5 chicken pieces, a double cheeseburger, large fries and large milkshake, please. Chocolate flavour. Cheers." Alright. Talk about McDonald's. We've been talking... Let me sum up all the subjects of tonight's stream. We have been talking aliens that are fake. Whether or not I believe in... or not that I believe in aliens or not, but just like how I see the reaction to alien life going down if it was real. We've talked about 9/11 and debunking some of the conspiracy theories around 9/11. Now we're talking McDonald's. We're talking God being in Dino-Defenders. And mutant old ladies with guns who go around killing people. It's quite a selection of subjects, I will admit. Hello, Neil Fanart. "Could you sneak a few chips into the Pterodome air ducts for me? I am in your walls after all," says Scorpius. Of course. Prehistoric Hero says, "I don't believe in conspiracy theories." I've had a close friend say that to me before. And it wasn't the time or place to really go into the details of that when I was with him. But I'll say this: if you don't believe in conspiracy theories, then just be careful, because that you're the prime person that they can hide a conspiracy from, like a real one. Also, if you don't believe in conspiracy theories, just go on social media and ask to see Epstein's client list, and you'll definitely believe in one conspiracy theory very quickly. That's all I'm saying. I just want her to have like a gormless look on her face, or maybe with like a little sly smile. Like she's just like Like, just this blank look on her face, just... And she's about to pump poor Jude full of lead. Yes, exactly, MT Bill. Just like an old Lego, like old school Lego figure. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's just gormless smile. And her hair to look a bit crazy. Ooh, I need the other cheek. McDonald's, as seen on the hit YouTube channel Terradome 3000. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Food delivery. 1 second, everyone.
Können Sie mir bitte den Weg zu der Brauerei zeigen? Wo ist die Brauerei? Entschuldigung.
I've been trying to learn German. I got one of these cassettes that teaches you while you're asleep. I don't know. I still can't speak the language, but I do dream with uncompromising efficiency. And I've been practicing drinking my Holsten pills like the Germans, too. They drink it cold. Well, they're not an emotional race. Not a flicker.
Conventional bladed fans chop the air, causing unsettling buffeting. The Dyson fan has no blades, generating smooth, cooling air. No blades, no buffeting. Find out how at Dyson.com.
The unexplained phenomenon is hitting the Moscow.
When you've got just 28 minutes to save the entire planet.
The clock is ticking.
You better hope you got the right computer.
Godzilla's hiding, and it's up to you to find him. Just buy a medium or larger drink. If you find a Godzilla, use your decoder to reveal what you've won. Uh-oh. I think I need a bigger box.
This summer, how fast can you swim? The critics are calling Lake Placid this year's Anaconda. Don't miss the movie everyone is screaming
All right,
about.
I'm back. Hello, Big Shark. He comes in. I've got McDonald's again. You just watched me get like fatter over the course of like loads of streams. Alright, wow. Yum, yum, yum. Just realised I got my food all over the thing I need to draw on. Computer keeps telling me that my headphones are unplugged, but I can still hear. Fatadome 3000. I'm going to do the gun as a different layer. I'll just use the line tool for that. Thank you, Big Shark. How did a lady get into this ice planet to deliver me McDonald's? What's going on here? Am I really trapped on a nice planet? What's going on? Scorpion says, will we get to see God, or will he just be this bright light, or will he not appear at all? Dude, I have so many questions. Help. No, you actually won't see God in the series. Thing is, like, when watching Jurassic Park and they have that debate around the dinner scene, and then like Malcolm talks about like nature selecting the dinosaurs for extinction and stuff. It's like, in order for nature to select, it means it needs a choice, and that means it's God, essentially, is what he's alluding to. And even in like Fallen Kingdom, when they're like, do you think God is blah blah blah, and he's like, no, I don't think God has any part of this. But like, the way Malcolm talks about it is like, I'm not saying God, Malcolm's a Christian or anything, or religious, but the way they talk about God in the Jurassic series was what made me go, well, what if it was like the characters couldn't question it, like, or at least, you know, some characters couldn't question it. Like, what would that do to their mentality if they knew that, yeah, they'd crossed the line with the Almighty? Like, what does that do to a character? I found that question very intriguing. And obviously, there is a sort of weird meta narrative with that going on, because technically I am God to these people, because I'm creating this story and telling, you know, what's going on. So they have to have done something that I think is bad and worthy of all this chaos. So it's like role playing in a way for myself to be like, okay, well, how would I feel if I was the creator of everything? Like, and it's kind of fun, but dangerous. And so I liked that challenge. I was like, oh, now I'm challenging myself, and not to let it like go too, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Pretentious? Because it could very easily fall into a very pretentious realm when you've got someone who's like, oh, I'm going to be the god of these characters, I'm going to do all this sort of stuff. It's like, have some fun with it and don't worry about it too much. So I thought, yeah, let's put God in the story, why not? And I don't like answer which. Like I don't talk about any specific religion or anything like that, because this is more like, it's God. You don't get any bigger than God. And which particular God is it? It's God. Like, it's like there's no ifs or buts around it. It's like, it's not one of any gods or anything. It is God, the big God, the big daddy. Louis says, I love the thumbnail for this. What would God look like in this story? Godzilla? God. How God looks. It's not some... I didn't want to play it as like some sort of joke in the story. I wanted to give it some reverence. Sorrybot says, conspiracy theory, Jack, after all the time he's been on the ice planet, has started hallucinating that he's eating McDonald's and that he's given them by his wife, who isn't real, all in his head. Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the reason, isn't it? Oh my god, I got so many chips. They've been salted good. Louis says, there you go. Louis says, God is just a big pair of hands from Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. Exactly. It's like, there's so many like God visuals and references in the Jurassic Park story, but obviously it keeps it like in the realm of the real world, where, you know, there's debate about the existence of God and all that sort of stuff. So they don't have like God appear as a character in the story, as it were. Although one could easily read God into the story, you know, with cyber erupting and the storm and all that sort of stuff. But with Dino-Defenders, I wanted to unequivocally make it known that no, God is in this story. God plays a role in the story of this this world. Now, I'm not saying it's like I said, any specific real religious God, and I just messed up all those words, but if you get what I mean, Like, this is a fictional story. It's a fictional god in this story. But the fictional god in this story, the way I'm painting it, is God. God. Like the ultimate god. Anyway, that's where I was like, that'll make it interesting. That'll make telling the story way more interesting, at least. Allegorical. Thank you, Neil, for that. That's the word I was looking for. It's an allegorical god. Hello, great man. I think I need to move her hand up. Basically, to cut a long story short, I'm just trying my best not to be blasphemous in any way, shape or form with this god. Like, I want it to make sense, but also I want it to not, and I say it, I mean the story that I'm telling. I don't want it to offend people who might be religious. So it's a difficult line to thread. But we'll see where it goes and where it lands. I just like I was really taken with the idea, the epic idea of a character going out of their way, knowingly doing so, but going out of their way to defy God directly, which is Rose, who we're looking at here. And I just thought, what, like, that sort of, for lack of a better term, biblical scale was really palpable. I was like, oh, that's what I want to tell. I want to tell that story that's like, it's not just, it might be on the ground, mutated old lady with a machine gun, but the story is so grand because what she's doing is literally insane. Plus, you know, I like watching those old films like Jason and the Argonauts and stuff, and they have all the old Greek gods in there and characters defying them and all that sort of stuff. And so I wanted to cut it from the same sort of cloth as those as well. Hey Jack, have you seen Ender's Game? Such a great movie. I thought the movie was okay. Yeah, I did see it. It's a good kids film. Specimen Breach's lore is inspired by Greek myth as well. Nice. I say Rose became the devil, says Prehistoric Hero. She'd like to think she did. Okay, I think it's time that I can remove that. It's got 2 lines going down there. I should read The Gospel of Lucifer by Tom England. It felt Crichton, but with the theology instead of technology. So the grounded sci-fi is on point. And The Testament of Notre Dame by the same author has such a fantastic twist. I PM the author to praise him. Love what he did with the Old Testament stories. I will check those out. In fact, I'm going to copy your text and I'm going to bung it in a notes doc. I'll add those books to my list of what I want to read. So I've got that saved now. Thank you. I've never played Dead Space, but I know of it. You know what? MT says the clock is over 11 here in Norway. I think I have to go to bed. Work day tomorrow. See ya. Thank you for coming along, MT Bill. Good to see you. Good chats as always. Hope you have a good night's sleep and enjoy work as best you can. Now, if I can position Rose. Oop. Hello, Alex. How you doing? Nice. So you had to watch me eat. I'm good, Alex. Glad to hear you're good. Can I have Rose say, "Here's Rosie," when she ambushes one of the characters and kills him? No. And I say no because so bluntly because that's obviously a reference to The Shining. It's too obvious, and it doesn't make sense because his Johnny was the was there like a talk show host's introduction? Actually, so it doesn't really make sense with with The Shining, but she is definitely going to say a lot of silly stuff and crazy stuff. I was thinking she could say, "Would you like a kiss from a rose?" referencing the Seal song. Looking forward to seeing the last episode. Thank you very much. We are going to be waiting still a very long time. I still got lots to do. I planned out. So I'm beating around the bush here. I went on holiday at the weekend, and one of the nights I was away, I took my book, which I don't have on me right now, which I used for planning Dino-Defenders, and I took episode 5 and I laid it out, and then I reorganized some things to work out all what needed to happen for the last episode, and there is still quite a bit to go, but I promise it'll be worth it. Thank you, Alex. It kind of amazes me that I'm still working on this series. Like, when I started it, I remember sitting on the sofa and I was painting the frame of the helicopter flying over the river for episode 1, the very first thing I did. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I could do like a few episodes, short episodes of a animated web series to do with people and like going to see clone dinosaurs. That was the initial moment. That was in 2016, 2017. Little did I know. Actually, when was that? I can probably pull up the date right here. If I pull up frame 1, there it is. Oh, it doesn't say. Oh wait, because this is a new hard drive, isn't it? I don't have the original file. Well, it was like 2016 at some point. 2017. And look where that idea got you, I know. Crazy how much it can evolve. Have I seen any indie animated series on YouTube? Yeah, loads. One of the best ones is The Big Les Show. It starts off really badly, like the quality is horrendous, but the storytelling and the quality of the animation gets better as they go. And there's many Jurassic Park references in it, and it is a stoner comedy, but it's so funny, and the timing is hilarious, and the story is epic, that it's well worth checking out. The first like 4 or 5 episodes are only like a minute or 2 minutes long each, if that, and at first you might be watching it being like, what the hell am I watching? And then there's a certain episode comes up, you're like, okay, well the story is just taken a different turn, and then you realise that it's not a joke, they're actually being serious, and then it expands into this whole epic journey. I'll write it in the chat. The Big Les Show. There's loads of spin-off series as well. Why is there a stoner Bigfoot? Oh, you watch the show, you'll learn his history and everything. But it's one of the only shows I've ever seen mention Jurassic Park 3. Like, there's a Jurassic Park 3 gag in it, which is quite funny to see. Like in one of the later episodes. But like, yeah, one episode is like a few like seconds long, and another episode is like an hour and a half or something. Like, it's ridiculous, but it's very good. Really funny. It's very gory and violent as well. But they play it for laughs, so. I like the idea of Rose in this episode just getting more and more filthy as well, like John McClane in Die Hard. So like she'll just get covered in blood and dirt and just becoming more of a mess as she goes. Making a Land Before Time remake? First I'm hearing of it. We need the gun. Did I put it in this one? No. What is this? Just that and a darker one, isn't it, really? Okay. Easy. Easy to do. I think I'll end the stream once I've got Rose finished. So I've got to drop my daughter off at nursery tomorrow. So I've got to get up early. How long have I been streaming for? Oh, nearly 2 hours. Not too bad. Not too bad, yes. Hello, Mikey. How you doing? Good evening, Mikey. Before I leave, I would want to ask you, Jack, what's your favourite non-dinosaur prehistoric animal in general? Non-dinosaur prehistoric animal. Dimetrodon. Easy. See you later, Prehistoric Hero. Thank you for coming. Hope you enjoyed the stream. All the best. Hope you have a good day. Cheers. See you later. I love you. Goodbye. I just need to get a little bit darker. Or there. Add a little dot on there. Oh yeah. Love the Dimensions in Dominion. They were pretty much lumbering cave dogs, and I loved it. Yeah, I enjoyed them. They felt very old school, like movie monster-ish, and I liked that. And it reminded me of Journey to the Center of the Earth. Alright, so now I can get rid of this rose. Merge those. Oh wait, no. Oh, what am I doing? Watch the mummy alien footage. Oh god, it's too funny. It's too funny. Like these stupid. There's like a video of them like placing it in this glass like tank, and it's like tiny. They're like this big, and it just looks so dumb. It's like they are not real. I mean, I'll be eating my hat if they do some sort of blood test on it or something. Some DNA test, and everyone conclusively goes, yeah, there's no doubt they are real, would you believe? But that ain't happening, because they are fake as shit. And the guy who is presenting them has already been debunked for presenting fake dead aliens before. So it's like, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not being fooled twice, sir. What are my thoughts on Tom Cruise's Mummy 2017? I watched that on a plane, if I remember correctly, and I thought that if they didn't market it as the beginning of a new wave of Universal horror monster movies, and if they didn't call it The Mummy, they called it something else, and they marketed it as a Tom Cruise supernatural action movie, then I think it would have done a lot better at the box office, and would have been received a lot better. But as it goes, they try to do the Marvel thing, and it just failed miserably. The film wasn't the worst thing I'd ever seen. Not by a long shot. But it wasn't like amazing or anything. But it would have been decent had they just called it something else. And yeah. You still watch the original Journey to the Center of the Earth, says Mikey. Well, so do I. I've got it right there. I think I bring it up almost every stream. The based one with Pat Boone and James Mason. Pat Boone! I just dropped it on the floor, but whatever. You know what? I want to make Rose's arm a bit more grotesque. A great man said, did I see The Invisible Man 2020? No, but I have watched. There's this like new fad on YouTube of people watching like first time reacting to movies, and and I watched it through one of those. So I didn't watch the whole film, but I saw a lot of the movie through one of those stupid videos, and yeah, it didn't look like it was my cup of tea, really. I didn't like that it was a suit or an ex-husband, boyfriend, or whatever it was. It was like, that was lame. Where's the magical serum that he drinks and actually turns invisible? They tried to bring it to some sort of like real world tech, and it's like, no. I know both are fantastical and don't exist, but there's a sort of, yeah, like I said, supernatural magic element to the serum. Nothing beats the original though. 1932 one. Kevin, the new Invisible Man was pretty good in my opinion. Maybe I'll watch the whole thing for Halloween this year, but yeah, I don't know. I wasn't impressed by seeing the spoilers in that video. Sort of messing her up a little bit more so she looks more crazy. Kevin says, what video just getting in now? There's a video of people reacting to watching The Invisible Man for the first time. That's the only time I've watched the new Invisible Man, the 2021 or whatever it was. Like, I haven't actually seen the film. I've only seen a video of people reacting to it and then seeing most of the film through that. So I haven't actually seen the film. Crazy lazy. Yeah. Right, so good. So you react to reactions of the movies. I don't react. It's just I was just watching their reaction to watching the film for the first time. There's like a huge economy of that content on YouTube right now, and I got sucked down the rabbit hole of watching them because I was watching people reacting to Jurassic Park for the first time or Fallen Kingdom or whatever. There was like quite a few on there. And yeah, so then I got my recommendations on YouTube just got absolutely ruined because it's just basically full of these videos, and still is. But admittedly, I've watched quite a few now because I like it has this weird like you're watching it with a bunch of friends feeling, and then you get to hear like people who don't normally watch those type of movies, their reaction to watching something for the first time. And you can tell most people in these videos I found will admit if they've seen something before, but there are those ones where you can tell that they're acting like they've never seen it before, but they clearly have. I don't like those ones. I can tell when someone's genuinely not seen something before, because like some people's reactions are really genuine, and you can tell because they're not acting. What happened now? If you want a good one though, one of the best ones I've seen, there's a channel called Popcorn in Bed. It's this like woman and her sister do the videos, but she did one on her own where she watched Poltergeist, and she says in the video that that was one that terrified her as a kid, and she'd never seen it. Like she watched it at a party when she was like a kid. They started watching it, and they got to the bit where the little girl said "they're here," which is like right at the beginning of the film. Apparently she cried and called her mum and wanted to go home because she was really little, and that film has haunted her since that day. And so she finally sits down and watches it and does a reaction for the YouTube, and you can tell she is not joking around. Like, she's genuinely haunted by that movie. And it's sweet. It's sweet in a way. It's quite wholesome to watch. It feels very genuine. That's one I can recommend. Popcorn in Bed's reaction of Poltergeist. So, am I going to see Killers of the Flower Moon? Maybe. I haven't seen the trailer. Oh no, wait, I have seen one trailer for that. It looks pretty good, if I remember correctly. I'm all about Godzilla -1 at the moment. That is where my mind is at in terms of films and trailers. I'm like, I want to see that movie so badly. Even more so because I know it's not going to come out in the UK anytime soon, so I've got to wait and try and avoid spoilers, which is going to be nuts on Twitter and elsewhere. New Exorcist trailer, I haven't watched that yet. If I wanted to make Rose look really devilish, I could make her look like a goat. Have her eyes like that. Like she literally just starts to turn into like a goat. Rose has forgotten to put bullets in. Now I need to get the lighting right. I don't know how much of the lighting from the bathroom is going to be hitting there for real, but we'll see how it looks. It's really hard to do. You know what? Actually, I will do it simply. Oh, no. Try and get the lighting right on this arm. Want that extra little bit of blue in there because she is facing the bathroom where there's blue light coming from. Yeah, just like that, just very subtle on her arm. I've been watching Dragon Ball Z Abridged. The reaction to that. What are some big plans you have? Asked Great Man. What do you mean, in life or what? Okay, I think we're done. Because the background's going to be blurred, and then when... Actually, these layers can... Oh, actually, let me... move her eyes over a little bit. In video making, nothing crazy at the moment. Just I'm basically putting all my stock into Dino-Defenders and getting this finished, or at least getting a lot of it done. I've got loads of video plans. I I want to read through my old Jurassic Park 4 fan script to see what it was like, and give you guys an insight into what it was like. Is her arm now too small? Fix that up. Yeah, I'm mainly just concentrating on Dino-Defenders because it's like so much to do with it. But if a video comes along that I want to do, I'll just do it. Like, that's how sort of the Meg 2 came about. When I did my review for that, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Or the reacting to the Jurassic Outpost thing, because I was listening to that podcast. I was like, oh, I'm going to do a video about this. Like, I wasn't planning it that morning to do it. There we go. Any collabs I thought about doing? Yeah, I mean, Clayton reached out. He wants to do some collaboration soon. He said we should collaborate more, and so I was like, yeah, sure, why not? We'll see what happens. But like I said, like really for the channel, I'm just trying to concentrate on getting this done as much as possible. That's really where my mind's at. Let's do one thing. Just for a laugh, I'm just gonna... There we go. Let's do a shadow. And there we go. I would say that's done for tonight. Yeah. Anyway, there we have it. Sebastian says, would you like to be on the Beast Hub podcast? I don't know what that is. What is the Beast Hub podcast? Yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's stream. I'm going to now go in and get some good sleep. And there is Rose aiming her gun right at Jude's head. So I'll let your imaginations run wild with what's going to happen here. Have a good night, everyone, and I will see you guys in the near future. Thank you to everyone who came along. Bye-bye.
Discuss this thing sanely, huh? Look, I tell you what. You go your way, and I'll go mine. Live and let live. Right? Right. Now what? Brother, what a way to run a railroad. Now, as I was saying...